Welcome back. Okay, we're back for the third half-hour segment. And today I have one student, and I think you know him. His name is Jose Felix. He is from Old Castile, more specifically from the province of Burgos. And he's from a small town in Burgos of only perhaps 200 people now, called Hontoria de Valdearados. Interesting name, which originally, me dicen, is La Fuente, I think La Fuente o Fontana, Hontoria, ahí viene, Fuente del Valle de los Arados. So it's a farming community, and his father is devoted to the wine business. He is a wine producer, Ribera del Duero. Not bad, okay? But Jose Felix, are you a farmer or do you work in Madrid?
I work in Madrid.
All right. Do you work in agriculture?
No, I don't.
Do you work in science?
No, I don't.
Are you a teacher?
No, I am not.
Okay. Are you a lawyer?
No, I am not.
Do you work in a big company?
No, I don't.
Do you work in marketing?
No, I don't.
Do you work in communication?
No, I don't.
Do you work in education?
No, I don't.
Do you work in a bank?
No, I don't.
Are you a financial analyst?
Yes, I am.
Ah, okay. So do you work in financial questions?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Good. Yes, también me vale, pero yes, I do me vale incluso más.
Yeah, much better.
No, but better, okay. And do you work in stock markets?
Yes, I do.
Do you work in bonds?
Yes, I do.
In bonos, obligaciones?
Yes.
Okay, fine. And how long have you been working in financial jobs?
I've been working for 7 years.
Okay, I've been working in financial jobs for 7 years.
Yeah. I've
Repeat.
been working in financial jobs for 7 years.
Si dices I've been working for 7 years, entiendo que llevas 7 años trabajando en general.
Uh-huh.
A lo mejor llevas más. Did you study economics?
No, I didn't.
Did you study law?
No, I didn't.
Did you study business administration?
No, I didn't.
Did you study biology?
No, I didn't.
Did you study engineering?
Yes, I did.
Did you study agricultural engineering?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. And where did you attend the university?
Sorry?
Where did you attend the university?
I went to at the University of Madrid.
Okay, and the Polytechnica?
Yes.
And how many years did you spend doing your degree?
The degree is about 6 years.
How long did it take you to finish?
It took me 7.5.
7.5.
8.
No, espera. La L en half es muda. Half, la mitad. 7.5, 7.5. Repeat.
7.5.
So it took you 7.5 years. And did you specialize in maquinaria, in farm equipment?
No, I am not.
No, I didn't.
I didn't. So.
Did you specialize in insecticides and pesticides, phytosanitaria?
No, I didn't.
Did you specialize in fertilizer?
No, I didn't.
Abonos, no?
No.
Did you specialize in management?
Yes, I did.
All right. Gestión of
Economy.
Economy. All right. And how old were you when you started your studies?
I was 18.
How old were you when you finished your studies?
I was 25, 26.
Good. And how old were you when you started your current job?
I was 30.
Okay. And did you work in agriculture before?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And when you finished your studies, were you living in Madrid or in Burgos?
I was living in Madrid.
And did you find a job in Madrid?
No, I didn't. I was working in something similar that my...
Similar to?
Similar to the job, similar to the bombs.
No, I was working in a job similar to my current job. Repeat.
I was working in a job similar to my current job.
Ask me how old I was when I went to the university.
How old was you? How old were you?
How old were you?
When you went to the university?
Good. How old were you? How old were you?
How old were you when you went to the university?
Okay. Escucha. How old were la D de old, sí suena. Y suena casi como un trampolín a were. How old were you? Repeat.
How old were you when
No.
you...
Imagina que old es O-L. Solo. Y la D no existe excepto pegado a la siguiente palabra. How old were you? Repeat.
How old were you?
Okay. When I started the university, I was 18. Yes. I was 18. Ask me how old I was when I finished.
How old were you when you finished?
I was 22. Okay. And ask me where I finished my studies.
Where did you finish your studies?
Your kiss.
Your studies.
Where did you finish your studies? Repeat.
Where do you finish?
Did you?
Where did you finish your studies?
Your studies, your studies. I finished my studies in Austin, Texas. Okay, ask me if Austin is an important city.
Is
Austin.
Is Austin an important city?
Do you understand Austin?
No, I've never heard anything about it.
No, I've never heard of Austin. Repeat. I've never heard of, not about.
I've never heard of
Austin.
Austin.
No? Austin is the capital of Texas.
Okay.
What's the biggest city? Ask me what the biggest city is in Texas.
What's the biggest city in Texas?
Texas. The biggest city is Houston.
Houston.
Ask me what the second biggest city is.
What's the second biggest city?
Second
Second.
biggest.
What's the second biggest city in Texas?
Texas. Dallas is the second biggest. Ask me what the third biggest is.
What's the third biggest city in Texas?
The third biggest city in Texas is San Antonio. And ask me what city comes after San Antonio.
What city comes after San Antonio?
Austin. And you don't know Austin, Texas?
No.
You've never heard of Austin?
I've heard a lot of things about Houston.
But not Austin.
Austin, not Austin.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Austin?
Texas. Yeah.
Austin. No, Austin we don't say in English. We say Austin.
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 And I'm very interested in Texas because there are la superficie, so the square kilometers are like Spanish and Spain and Portugal. And I'm very interested in it.
No, Spain and Portugal and part of France.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The Iberian Peninsula is approximately 140,000 square kilometers, and Texas is 180.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still quite a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Bastante más grande. It's quite a bit bigger. Ask me how long it takes to cross Texas.
How long does it take to cross Texas?
It takes about a day and a half or 2 days.
Driving?
Yeah. From El Paso to Texarkana on the border with Arkansas takes about 2 days. It takes a long time.
Okay.
But it's similar in Spain to go from perhaps from Línea de la Concepción or Tarifa to Portbou or to Ampurias in Girona, or to go from Cabo de Gata to Finisterre. Okay, so it takes a long time to cross Spain too, of course. And so I finished my studies when I was 22 in Austin. Ask me what I did when I finished my studies.
What did you do when you finished your studies?
Finished, va en pasado, por favor.
What did you do when you finished?
When you
finished your studies?
Good. No tenemos tiempo de entrar en la fonética aquí, pero si yo te tuviera el alumno 8 horas diarias, en un mes te limpiaba toda esa fonética.
Bad habits.
Yeah. How old were you, or what did you do? What did you do when you finished your studies? Repeat.
What did you do when you're finished?
When you
finished your studies?
I went to Atlanta. Ask me if I flew there.
Did you fly there?
No, I didn't. Ask me if I drove there.
Did you drive there?
Yes, I did. Ask me how long it took me to drive there.
How long did it take you driving there?
To
there.
To drive there.
To drive there.
Ask me how long it took me to drive there.
How long did it take you driving to? Sorry.
Okay. Ask me how long it took me to drive to Atlanta.
How long did it take you driving
to drive
to Atlanta?
Ahí está. How long did it take you to come here this morning? How long did it take you to finish the cup of water? How long did it take you to prepare this class? And how long did it take you to drive to Atlanta? Repeat.
How long did it take you to drive to Atlanta?
Okay, it took me 3 days. Ask you why it took me so long.
Why did it take you so long?
Because it takes 3 days to drive from central Texas to Atlanta.
Driving under the law.
Driving at the speed limit, yeah. But I stopped for a while. Ask me where I stopped. Well, ask me. One day I stopped in a small city.
Yeah.
Ask me what town, or a town. Ask me what town I stopped in.
What town did you stop in?
I stopped in, I can't remember the name, in a town in Mississippi. Oh my God, it's the home, Sede de la Universidad de Mississippi. It's the home of the University of Mississippi, and I can't remember the name. Ask me why I stopped there.
Why did you stop there?
Because I wanted to visit William Faulkner's house.
Hmm?
Have you ever heard of William Faulkner?
Yes, I've heard
Of him.
of him.
Good. He was a very famous author.
Yeah.
And a winner of the Nobel Prize
Yes.
in literature. And I wanted to visit his house in Mississippi.
Did you enjoy it?
It's very interesting, yeah. Yeah. Ask me how many of his novels I have read.
How many of his novels have you read?
I've read about 5 of his novels. Okay? It's not easy to read Faulkner. It's a bit complicated, but I've read 5 of his novels and perhaps 10 of his short stories.
Is he a deep thinker?
Yes. Yes, he is. And so I went to Atlanta. Ask me why I went to Atlanta.
Why did you go to Atlanta?
Because my sister was living there at the time. Ask me how many days I stayed in Atlanta.
How many days did you stay at Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
I stayed there for about 5 days. Ask me what my sister was doing at that time.
What was your sister doing at that time?
She was working as an interior decorator. Ask me if she was single.
Is she single?
Now?
No, was she single at that?
Single.
Was she single at?
Single. Ese shingle es tejas de tejado. Okay? Was she single at that time? Repeat.
Was she single at that time?
No, she wasn't. She was married. Okay? And ask me how long she had been married.
How long had she been married?
Let's see. When I was 12, she had been married for 2 years. Okay? Ask me what her husband was doing at that time.
What was her husband doing at that time?
2 things. He was studying and he was working as a waiter. Okay? Ask me what he was studying.
What was he studying?
He was studying dentistry. He was studying to become a dentist. Okay? Ask me if the university was expensive.
Was the university expensive?
La X donde lo has metido.
Expensive?
Good, repeat.
Was the university expensive?
Yes, it was. Ask me who paid for it.
Who paid for it?
Uncle Sam. All right, do you understand Uncle Sam?
Uncle Sam? Tío Sam?
Yeah, Uncle Sam, the American government.
Yeah.
Ask me why.
Why did Uncle Sam pay for it? Pay for it?
Good. Because my brother-in-law reached an agreement to be a dentist in the Air Force after he finished for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because the United States military needs dentists on the bases, the Army bases, Navy bases, and Air Force and Marine bases. Mm-hmm. So they need doctors and dentists, nurses. They need normal medical personnel.
Yeah.
And many people don't want to work, of course, on a base, a military base. Yeah. A
Why
doctor
not?
prefer what?
Why they don't work?
Why don't they?
They work in a military base.
Base, con V es
Base.
florero.
Yeah.
Base. Ask me why they don't want to work on a military base.
Why don't they work on?
Ask me why they don't want to work.
Why didn't want to work?
No uses el pasado.
Why don't they want to work in a military base?
On a military base. Because the pay is not very good. And doctors and dentists in the United States very quickly start making a lot of money. You see, it's different. Here, medicine is social. And it's not so easy for a doctor to earn a lot of money because the doctor works partially private and partially in the Social Security system here in Spain and perhaps in other countries too. So the job of a doctor is often not lucrative all the time. In the United States, often it is lucrative all the time and you can make a lot of money. And at the same time, be a very good doctor and very respected doctor. And you can live well. So when a person studies medicine or dentistry, and they finish when they're 28 years old, they're ready to start making good money because it's a long process of education. And then if they have to go to a military base, they're not interested in going to a military base in the middle of Oklahoma or to a military base in the middle of Nebraska or in Alaska where it's very cold.
Yeah.
But the military bases need doctors, dentists, nurses, and other type of professional personnel. Profesional. So the medical school, o escuela de medicina o de odontología en este caso, dental school, is very expensive. And so many of the future doctors or dentists know that if the government helps them, it's in exchange for a 3-year devotion to the military.
Okay.
So it's a good exchange. Okay, and ask me where they went after he finished dental school.
Where did he go after finished
After
dental?
he finished.
After he finished dental school.
Más de dental.
Dental school.
No quiero ver tu lengua. Dental.
Dental
Eso.
school.
They went to Tacoma, Washington. Ask me what kind of base they lived on.
What kind of base do they live on?
Es pasado, por favor.
Did they live on?
Good, repeat.
What kind of base did he live on?
Bueno, vivió ahí con mi hermana. They. Did they live on? They lived on an Air Force base. Ask me if I have ever seen that base.
Have you ever seen that base?
Yes, I have. Ask me if you have ever seen that base.
Have I ever seen that base?
I think so. Ask me where you saw, ahora el pasado. Ask me where you saw that base.
Where did I see that base?
You saw that base in the cinema.
In what film?
Ask me what film, ask me what movie was filmed on that base.
What movie was filmed in that base?
Siempre es on cuando son bases militares. What
movie was filmed on that base?
An Officer and a Gentleman. Do you remember that movie?
I don't.
Yeah. An
okay.
Officer?
Yeah. Protagonized by.
Protagonized,
Richard,
no.
With Richard Gere.
Gere. Gedura. With Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
Okay, not Richard Gere. Richard Gere. Do you remember that movie?
Yes, I remember.
It.
I remember it.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it.
Did you like it?
Yes, I like it. Yes, I like it.
Liked it.
I liked it.
Liked it.
I liked it.
Liked it.
Liked it.
Good. I liked it. And do you remember the Air Force base?
Yes, I remember it.
Good. Well, it's the same one where my brother-in-law and my sister lived and worked.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting.
Ask me how long they were there.
How long did...
Ask me how long they were there. El verbo es to be aquí.
How long were they? Sorry.
Ask me...
I am lost, sorry.
¿Cuánto tiempo estuvieron ahí? Es muy sencillo. Ask me how long. Es tan sencillo que deberías entenderlo. Come on, Jose Felix. Ask me how long they were there.
How long did they...
No, el verbo to be no lleva do.
How long was they...
Ask me how long they were. Ask me how long I was.
How long
he
were
was. They were. Ask me how long they were there.
How long were they there?
Good. Ahora lo tienes, no?
Yeah, see, it's easy, but I was lost, sorry.
Ask me, they were there for 3 years. Ask me where they moved after that.
Where did they move after that?
They moved to Colorado. Ask me why.
Why did they move to Colorado?
Because they wanted to live in Denver. Ask me why.
Why did they want to live in Denver?
¿Denver qué es?
In Denver.
Denver. ¿Ves mi lengua?
Yes.
Denver.
Yeah, no.
¿Lo ves?
I
Denver.
can't.
Bring me the camera. A ver si ves mi lengua. Voy a decir la capital. No, la capital no. Pero la ciudad más grande de Colorado es que se llama Denver. Aquí se ve Denver. Denver. Mi lengua dentro de mi boca, que no veis, está haciendo así. Y ¡bam! Contra esa plataforma de las encías detrás de los dientes frontales. Da 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 da, do a diddy diddy dum diddy do. Does your daddy do different things? ¿Hace tu papá cosas diferentes en el trabajo? Does your daddy do different things? Do a diddy diddy dum diddy do. Y no se ve. Dog, perro, no dog. Okay, dog, does. Ese perro hace cosas extrañas. That dog does strange things. Denver. Okay, ask me why they wanted to live in Denver.
Why did they want to live in Denver?
Denver. Okay, Denver. They wanted to live in Denver because it's next to the Rocky Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me why they wanted to live close to the Rocky Mountains.
What did they
Why?
want? Why did they want to live close to the Rocky Mountains?
Mountains, ¿qué es?
Mountains.
¿Cómo se dice la cerveza famosa española?
Mau.
Good. Así se-
Mountains.
Tyne, ¿qué es? Tyne?
Mountain.
No, mo, nada.
Mountain.
Espera, ¿cómo se dice casa?
House.
House. ¿Cómo se escribe? O-U en medio, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
House. ¿Cómo se dice ratón?
Mouse.
Mouse. All right. Y mountain, mau. La O-U en inglés casi siempre tiene sonido de au.
Uh-huh.
Au, como cow. Now. La O-W casi siempre, bueno, casi siempre no, muchas veces también. Pero la O-U casi siempre es au. All right?
Yeah.
About. ¿Cómo se dice acerca de?
About.
Pero se escribe O-U, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Ahora, M-O-U-N, mound.
Mountain.
Ahora, ¿cómo se dice el número 10?
10.
Good. Mountain.
Mountain. Okay.
Okay.
Mountain.
Pero realmente es casi como tonelada. Mountain. Pero con los españoles, si digo el número 10, os acercáis más al sonido de verán. Mountain.
Mountain.
The mountains, the mountains, the mountains. In the mountains, in the valley. Okay? The mountains.
Yeah.
From the mountains to the ocean. Okay? To the prairie. Full of stream. God bless America. A mountain. Now, ask me why they wanted to live close to the mountains.
What?
Why?
Why did they want to live close to the Rocky Mountain?
Bueno, hay más de una montaña.
Mountains.
Porque es que la montaña rocosa. Okay. No, it's a long cordillera. It's a long.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to live close to or near. They wanted to live close to the Rocky Mountains because it's a good area for skiing. It's a very good area for skiing. Ask me if my sister likes to ski.
Do your sister like?
Solo tengo una.
Does your sister like to ski?
Okay, repeat please. Does your
sister like to ski?
Does your sister like to ski? She used to. ¿Has entendido?
Yeah, but not right now.
Bueno, ahora mismo no, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Ya no. She used to like to ski, but not anymore.
And why?
Why? Ask me why she doesn't like to ski anymore.
Why doesn't he like to ski anymore?
¿Quién? ¿Mi cuñado o mi hermana?
To ski anymore. Why doesn't your sister like?
Okay, why doesn't she?
Why doesn't she to ski?
Oh, Dios mío. Has dicho he en vez de she. Okay. You were mixing people, okay?
Yeah.
Ask me why she doesn't like to ski anymore.
Why doesn't she like to ski anymore?
Okay. Because she got tired of skiing. All right. Oh. When you have something every day or the opportunity every day, you lose interest in these things. Yes. Do you understand?
Yes.
When it's very easy, you lose interest.
Of course.
Before that, she didn't live in Colorado, and so she had to find specific moments to escape, to travel a long way, 2 days to Colorado to ski for 1 week. Yeah. So it was very special. But when you live next to the ski, then it's for some people, they lose interest. Yeah. All right. Madre mía, tenemos trabajo contigo.
Okay.
Uy, eres un reto Me gustaría. I want to be your teacher for the next 5 years, to change your English and to improve it. Okay. I like challenges, and Jose Felix, he speaks quite well, but the fine points we need to improve, and the pronunciation, of course. Thank you, and I'll be right back in a few minutes, so don't go too far away. Okay, I want you back in 5 minutes.